last lecture, you have seen that how we have configured the routers. Now I'm going to take the same scenario. So the topic today, what we are discussing is static route, right? I told you. I'm again going to brief out on it. Routing is of two types. One is static, another is dynamic. Dynamic. When I'm going to talk about the static routing, it is something like network admin is configuring on its own. That means if I'm sitting in a room and I have two gates, one is 1 gigabit bandwidth, another is 10 gigabit bandwidth. Which path it should by default follow? One or this path number one or path number two? Tell me.
Two, ma'am.
Two, definitely, because it has a higher bandwidth. But what if I can see the congestion is here on that path number two, and I'm telling this guy to go and follow this path number one? That means static. And it is most preferred by the routing device. Most preferred by routing device. That means you are doing your work on your own is much more trustworthy, or you are leaving your work on somebody else to do it for you is most trustworthy. Definitely when you do your work yourself, it is most trustable. So static route is always considered most trustable by the router. Whereas dynamic routing, I am leaving my work on some intelligent protocols to find the best path for me, right? And we divide it further into three criteria. So here, had it been dynamic routing protocol, it will never see the congestion. It sees best the bandwidth, the best is the path. It will definitely select path number two, irrespective of congestion. Why? Because it has not been designed to take congestion into account. It's been designed to take bandwidth into account. Now there are different types of the dynamic routing protocols. One is distance vector. Second is hybrid. And third is link state. When we talk about distance vector, it purely depends upon distance. No bandwidth, nothing. That means how many number of the hops are coming on my way, how many routing devices are going to come in my way, I'm going to take the decision, right? Hybrid is one which is going to take care the bandwidth as well as hop counts into account. Bandwidth. So it is a hybrid of both, right? So dynamic routing protocols are of three types. Distance vector, which purely depends upon the distance, no bandwidth into consideration. Hybrid takes both distance as well as bandwidth, and bandwidth is purely being taken by link state, right? When I talk about distance vector, the protocol which works here is routing information protocol. I'll talk about it later in my next lecture. But right now you can write down the critics like the initials, what we are going to discuss. Hybrid is EIGRP, Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. And link state is of two types, OSPF and ISIS. OSPF, you can write down the full form, Open Shortest Path First. And ISIS full form is Intermediate System to Intermediate System. To Intermediate System. Now let's talk about static routing. Let's talk about static routing, right? Now, when we talk about static routing, that means I'm statically telling about the destination. So the same scenario, I was having this environment. Everyone remembers that what I was having within my network. सबको याद है हम कर क्या रहे थे? I was having R1, R2, R3. A switch is connected at site number 1 and there was a PC F00. The local area network which we have taken here was 192.168.1.0/24. The wide area network we have taken this. Then again I have connected a switch, a PC. This is site number 2. I have taken the pool as 3.0/24, 4.0/24. Again, I have connected a switch, connected a PC, and F00, and this was 5.0/24. Any doubts still here?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Good. Out of this, I have taken two valid IPs. 1.1 I have given here, 1.2. Out of this, I have given 2.1, 2.2. Out of this, here 5.1 and 5.2. Now, R1, if you will check R1's routing table, last time we have seen that what all connected network entries it has. If you will go to show IP route in R1, it will show you that I have my LAN, I know my WAN. That means it has 1.0 and 2.0 in its routing table. Similarly, R2 will have 2.0, 3.0 and 4.0 in its routing table because it has one WAN here, another WAN here, another LAN here. Then R3 is aware about 4.0 and 5.0. Whatever is connected to me becomes the entry of my routing table right now. Doubts? Nobody is telling me that my mic is on mute and you are not understanding anything. Anyways, I'm saying that the users at Delhi location should be able to communicate with the users at Bangalore location, should be able to communicate with the users at Kolkata location. That's what is the router for. The traffic goes to the switch, then switch routes it to the router. A router is also known as a gateway. Gateway is nothing but a gate who's going to take my traffic outside, right? Now, what is gateway technically? Gateway is my immediate next hop. Immediate next hop. Whose gateway? It is the immediate next hop. If I'm sitting in a room and I have two doors, one is this, two is this, which is the gateway to me? मेरे लिए gateway कौन होगा? One होगा, two होगा?
One, ma'am.
Very good.
One, ma'am.
One, exactly. This is the immediate gateway. Similarly, if 1.0, see, for in its routing table, it is aware about its past Ethernet and its serial 000. But what if my R1 has to go to 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, then what is the gateway for R1? Where it will send his next traffic to? Tell me. What is the gateway for R1? Where he will throw his packet next immediately?
2.1.
What is the IP? Which IP he will send his next packet to? Immediate hop.
Two dot two.
Very good. So the 2.2 becomes the gateway for R1 to send his packet. So let's say the request has come that there is a PC 1.2 and there is a PC 3.2. One PC is in Delhi, another PC is in Bangalore. They want to communicate. The request goes to switch. Switch says it's not my local area network. You should go and ask the router. Packet comes here. The router will check its routing table. Right now, if I don't have any route in my routing table, it is aware about its LAN and its WAN, the immediately connected network to him. But if now the source IP was what? 1.2. Destination IP was what? 3.2. So the router will check in its routing table. Is there any entry of 3.0? If he will not find, he will drop the packet. For that, you have to configure the routing. If he finds, then only he will route the packet, right? Similarly, if you are going to ask the way to a person, let's say you have to go to some XYZ location. If he is going to know, if he knows, he will tell you. If you don't know, he will say, I don't know. Simple. No? So what route you are going to put in R1 is IP route destination. This is the syntax. Any device you will configure, whether it is Cisco, Juniper, there are a lot of vendors into the market which has their own switches, routers. They are going to put the static route always like this: destination network, the subnet mask, and the gateway IP. Gateway IP is the immediate next hop. So if I'm going to talk about site 1, which is R1, so what is destination to me? I'm aware about 1.0, 2.0, but what is the destination which I'm not aware? 3, 4, 5. I'm not aware about all these three networks. So what I will do, I will say IP route 192.168.3.0. I want to talk to everyone who's sitting at the Bangalore location, whose subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and where I have to throw the packet immediate 2.2. Clear? Doubts? Wait, guys, wait. Sorry, everyone. So for the destination 4.0, same subnet mask. What is the next hop? For R1 to reach 4.0, what should be the next hop? Tell me, what should be the gateway for R1 to reach 4.0? Hmm. Yes.
4.1.
Uh-huh. Immediate next hop.
2.2.
2.2. Exactly. And for R1 to reach 5.0, what is the next hop?
2.1.
2.
2.2. 2.2.
2. 2.1 is its own local IP. So every time you are putting 2. Why? Because it is having a single gate. He can only see a single gate to go out. What if it has to go to 100 number of the networks with a single gate? So that in that case, R1 is going to configure the 100 routes. Tell me. No. What if you have 100 destination networks with the same gateway? You will never configure 100 routes. Since you have a single gate, you are sitting here, you have a single gate, and here it is internet cloud. That means to reach million number of websites. Every website has its own IP. Do you agree with it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That means for this is, let's say this is your router. This is service provider router. Let's say this is Bharti or Airtel, right? And now he has to put a static route. So will he configure million number of static routes to reach internet or to reach the websites? No. Since he has a single gate, he has a visibility of this gate to go and access the internet. He will put a default route. What he will put? He will put a default route. Default route is also like as a static route, but it is always configured on the routers which has a single gateway. Which has a single gate or single gateway, right? So in R1, since it has a single gateway, you will configure IP route any network with any subnet mask. The gateway is 2. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you configure a default route in R2? What is the destination network for R2? It is aware about 2, 3, 4. What is destination for R2? अजय ले लो ये कटोरी भी ले अजय कटोरी is. What is destination for R2? What do you think it should be?
1.2 and 5.2, ma'am.
Exactly. So destination for R2 is 1.0 and 5.0. So to reach 1.0, where R2 will jump? What is the next hop of R2?
2.1, ma'am.
Very good, 2.1. And for R2 to reach 5.0, what is the next hop?
4.2.
सबको उठा लिया ठीक है very good. So can I configure a default route in R2?
No, ma'am.
Exactly. Why? Because it has the different gateways to reach different networks. Now for R3, what is there in the routing table? 4 and 5. So what is destination to R3? 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So to reach 3.0, what is the next hop for R3?
4.1.
Exactly. To reach 2.0, what is the next hop?
4.1.
Exactly. To reach 1.0, what is the next hop?
4.1.
Exactly. So can I configure a default route on R3?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, exactly. Very good. So here is our ongoing lab of static routing, and static routing is very important. Very important. right? Because every time in productions, you will always see a static route, which is definitely configured. Either you will find a default route or a static route. You will find it. Dynamic routing protocols, it comes up with a selection, okay, which protocol I have to implement, whether I have to go for distance vector, whether I have to go for hybrid, whether I have to go for the link state. So it depends. I'll choose one protocol probably or two, but static route you will always find, right? And it is most trustworthy. Now, who decides the trustworthiness? It's not my word of mouth. I'm saying, okay, this is most trustworthy. So Cisco, Juniper, and a lot of vendors into the market, when they have been designed that, okay, we are going to support these protocols, whenever they got designed, they come up with an AD value. What is AD value? Administrative distance. AD. So they are developed with a standard AD value, and that's how router or any routing device differentiates which one to prefer. So let's say you have configured static route, you have configured the dynamic routes, but in the router's routing table, you will never see all the routing. So you will never see, okay, static is also there, dynamic is also there. No, it will always select most trustworthy protocol. And who decides this? AD, right? So the keyword lowest AD value protocol is preferred, right? Is preferred. So lowest AD, static route, 1. Connected are most trustworthy. You know, they are directly connected to me, 0. Default is like a static route, 1. RIP, which is distance vector, 120. EIGRP, which was hybrid, it's 90. OSPF, which is link state, is 110. ISIS is 115. There is one more protocol, IBGP, right? I'll talk about it in my advanced level sessions. So IBGP is 200. EBGP is 20. So these are the AD values. So it doesn't mean that if you have multiple routing protocols configured in your environment, your router will start following everything. And who decides that I would have to follow the routing table of the routers? The routing table of the router is one such criteria which decides, okay, I have to put these protocol routes in my routing table. That's how it works, right? So AD value, right? We are going to do a lab now, guys. You have your laptops? Take the screenshot of this. We are going to implement this. The same network diagram with a static routing and default routing. This is our lab for today. Should I get into the lab? So I'm getting into the lab. We all have done our basic configs, till our basic configs. And I want you to configure the static routing. So please check your basic configurations. Whatever configuration scheme you have taken, I'm good with it, right? But please note that whatever configuration scheme you have taken, let's say I have taken the same which I have drawn in my diagram. So I will give the first command as show IP route. And whatever schematic you have taken in your Cisco packet tracer, please write down the connected network entries, right? Similarly, I'll get into this router. I'll get into the CLI, enable Cisco show IP route. It will give me the connected network IDs. You can write it down on a piece of paper. Okay, these are the network IDs which are related to site 2. Right? Probably you might have taken different. So I'm good with that too as well. But you have to understand the logic, right? CLI enable Cisco admin level password show IP route. Since we have done the basic configurations of the interfaces, and this is something which is a routing table of the router containers, right? So right now you can see I don't know about 3, 4, 5. So my router is going to drop the packet. So I'll get into the configuration mode. IP 192.168.3.0, 255.255.255.0, 192.168.2.2. Right? I'll press the up arrow key and I will make the changes. 4.0. I'll again press the up arrow key. I will make certain changes. 5.0. Right? Or I could have configured the default route, which I'm not configuring right now. Right? So site 2 configuration for me, 1.0 is the destination network. That means my local area network for the site number 1. Its subnet mask, what you have taken. And the next hop is 2.1, like you told me. Similarly, if it has to go to 5.0, 255.255.255. Next hop is 4.2. Similarly, site 3. So I'll get into the configuration mode. If it has to reach 3.0 with a subnet mask of this, as it's been told by everyone who's sitting here, it's 4.1. 2.0, it's 4.1. To reach 1.0, it's 4.1. Now we have configured the routes. I'll press Ctrl Z. I'll check my routing table. Show IP route. If you will check your routing table, you see C is for connected. I know directly connected. I know directly connected. This is my static route. S stands for static route. Destination network. 1 is my AD value and 0 is the cost. 0 is the cost means that this router doesn't have to do anything. That means there is no protocol who has worked out or calculated, okay, this is the best bandwidth path or minimum delay is there or minimum jitter is there. So I have not used my brains. It has been told to me by my network admin. So I am taking the cost as 0. I have not calculated any cost. So my AD value is 1. My cost is 0 via my gateway. Got it? Similarly, site 2. Show IP route. Its routing table should have all the entries again. Static routing for 1, static routing for 5. Right? Similarly, if you will check site 3, show IP route. All 3 static routes via 4.1. Got it, guys? Everyone? You will get into this PC, first PC, desktop, get into the IP configuration. Already you have given 1.2, gateway as 1.1. You will try pinging the gateway first. Ping 192.168.1. I'm good. But can I ping my site 2 router? Yes, because I have a static route. Can I ping the PC who's sitting in the site 2? That is Bangalore location. First, take some time and then it will not. See. Can I ping the PC from Delhi till Calcutta or Kolkata? Take some time, but will work. It's actually taking the time to process that packet request. Then checks the routing table. Once it has that entry in its cache, it will not take any time. Got it? Can I reach Kolkata router? Yes, I can. Can I remotely log in sitting at the Delhi location to Bangalore location router? Yes, I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm in site 2 from site 1. Exit. Right? Can I do remote login to my site 3 router? Yes, I can. I can give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is from site 1. I am in site 3. भैया बताओ। हाँ आप मुझे कोई डाउट्स हैं तो प्लीज पूछो। एनी डाउट्स? कोई डाउट्स हैं तो पूछो। Any doubts? So you are going to implement this. Configuration file, I'm sending it to you, right? You have to implement this. You will take 3 routers, 1, 2, 3. The moment you are done, you can share your screen with me. You have switch, you have switch, you have switch, right? Then what you will be doing? You will be taking this PC. You will be taking one PC here. You will be taking another PC here. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3. Have you saved your last time configurations? Have you saved your last time configurations?
Yes,
The diagram?
ma'am.
Good. So just do show IP route there. I'm going to give you some series of command line. You note down the network IDs and you can start putting up the syntax. So you get into router, any router R1 like R1, if I'm going to write. So hash mode, show IP route. This is one entry who's going to give you the connected network entries. You can write down the connected network entries for every router, and then you can process, and then you can always type in for the configuration mode IP route destination network ID, subnet mask of the destination, and the gateway IP. And the gateway IP. So please note down and start doing. If you have the previous network connectivity with you, please start. What I will do, I will I'm uploading the configuration on your Gmail, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload the configuration, the syntax, what I have used, and you can map it to the syntax what you have used, right? The file. Check basic router. Basic router config with right. Let me open this document so that you can see. So this basic configuration you have done. If you will go down in this document, you will find the static root configuration. And this is for the network which I have taken, right? You can map it with the network IDs which you have taken, right? So if you understood it correctly and your output is correct, then you can also get into the default route, right? So on site 1, I have configured any network with any subnet mask, the default gateway is 2.2. Similarly, for site 2, I have configured this. You don't have to configure this. You can leave it for right now, right? So this is the activity for today. If we are going to do it, then, I mean, this is what we have been planned for today, right? So please share your screen once you are done. Fine, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and the network ID is what I have taken as per the documentation which I have sent it to you, 1.0/24. I'm writing down the network IDs. You can put 192.168 in front of everything, right? The 192.168 you can put. And out of these classful IPs, I have taken one IP here, right? So please go ahead. Once you are done, let me know, share your screen, right? Go ahead. Yes, anyone done? Please share. Please, please, please. I mean, it's high time now. It's going to be 8:30 after half an hour. So I want to see the configurations before I close this. Srikant?
Ma'am, can I share the screen, ma'am?
Yeah, please do. Share your screen. Okay.
Ma'am, is that visible, ma'am?
Yeah. Go to the site 1, show IP route. Go to the site 1, show IP route. Show IP route. Press right, enable Cisco. Show IP route. show space IP space root. Enter. Okay, fine. I got 3 static ones. Acha, okay, 1 and 2. So you have taken the same schema, right? What I have taken.
Yes, ma'am.
The same-
Previous one I have saved like that, so I have put that one.
Okay. Fine. So I think it's correct. So you can go to the server one, like the PC0, and you can ping it till your site 3.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. It's
Already pinged, ma'am.
okay.
So this is
Oh.
what I got. So
Fine.
previous one it took again request time load. After that again it worked. It started
Right.
working.
So first request timeout is because your switch is doing ARP. I told
Yes.
you that PC has to do the ARP request. So it has to locate the destination MAC because that's very much important. Right? So that's why first time it does the ARP request and second times it has that destination MAC in its cache and the second time it unicasts. Right? Fine.
Yes, ma'am. Directly it is doing.
Yeah, directly it is pinging because now it has learned in its cache.
Already
You
it's in
ARP
table.
cache. Right. Exactly. Yes. Fine, I think we are good. You can implement the default route in site 1 and site 3 and check show IP route again. So you can check the documentation, implement the default route in site 1 and site 3 and check with show IP route. Only Srikanth is done and what about the rest of the people out here?
Ma'am, my name is Rajkumar, ma'am. I'm not Srikanth.
Acha. Okay, fine. Let me write down, right? Because I have to keep a note of it like the people who are there. So it's Raj who has done. Fine.
Ma'am, I got it, ma'am.
Which one? Oh, okay. Can you share your screen now?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I stopped sharing screen, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. So Kalyan is done. And okay. So please share your screen. Okay, Rajkumar, do one thing. Please check the show IP routes.
Okay, ma'am.
Please check screen. Rajkumar will check it.
So I think 2 have raised their hands. So Kalyan, first you can share your screen. So I can
Okay.
see.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible. It's visible. So go to the first router and router. Okay. You can directly give the command show IP address. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing it. PC. Okay. Done.
Can you stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop.
Okay.
So after that, is it Kalyan, right? So Tagore,
Yes.
you can share your screen now.
Okay, wait, I will share. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, 3 are connected.
Okay.
This is for router. Okay.
Router 1.
Okay, done.
These are my IP addresses. I have
Okay. PC
if you
you
want.
can ping
PC.
PC0.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Can
Okay.
I? Which
Yeah, you can
can?
stop sharing screen. Still anyone ready to share the screen? Can raise their hand. Lanka Mohan. Lanka Mohan, are you there?
I'm there. I'm sharing. Wait.
Yeah, please. In the meanwhile, if anybody is interested to share their screen, can raise their hand. So accordingly, we'll call the names.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
see your screen. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Rajkumar,
Hello?
please keep on who all are being done, and then you can tell me
Hello?
the name of the persons who are done, right?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Hello?
Yeah, Mohan, you are audible. You can go to the
Okay.
router 0 configuration and you can show me the show IP route.
Okay. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I can see that. I think we got 4 here.
What?
Okay, that is default. Okay, that is default.
That is default.
Okay. You can go to the
One.
PC and ping it. PC 0 and ping that.
Which one?
PC 0. Ah, yeah. Now it's visible. Okay. Step. So thank you, Mohan. So Navya Manjira, are you there?
Yes. Sharing.
Okay, Navya, you can share your screen now. Mohan and Tagore, you can unraise your hand because already you have completed.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah. Navya, your screen is visible.
Yeah.
I'm seeing at the router 0 configurations.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 3 are configured. Done. So you can go to the PC 0 and you can ping it.
Okay.
Okay. It's done. Thank you, Manjira. It's
Okay.
fine. You can stop share your screen. So guys, still anybody would like to share their screen? So if anybody is ready to share the screen, I'm always here. You can raise your hand and I'll ask you to share. You can share. Till now, 5 had shared the screen. Kalyan, Tagore, Lanka, Mohan, myself. So if still anyone would like to share the screen?
ఓపెన్ చేసావు పది నేను పెట్టింది
So Rajkumar, can you please update me the name of the persons who are done?
Yes, ma'am. Till now, 5 had shown, ma'am, including myself. So
Uh-huh.
those are
Here
Kalyan,
and Kalyan and who else?
Tagore,
What?
Tagore, ma'am, Tagore,
Tagore, okay. And
Lanka Mohan.
Mohan.
Yes, ma'am.
So who? Mohan, Anita Mohan.
Mohan, ma'am, Mohan. Lanka
Mohan.
Mohan. L. Mohan.
Oh, okay.
And Navya Manjira, ma'am.
Manjira.
Navya Manjira.
Can you please spell it?
Navya, ma'am.
Navya.
NAV. Yes, ma'am, Navya.
Navya Manjira. Okay. Okay, no problem. So 5 of you have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So start with the configuration of the default route, Rajkumar. And please, everyone follow. Srikant, what's your status? I can't see you done.
Yes, ma'am, I have done.
You are done. So please share your screen. Raj, check his screen now. Check his configurations.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Shrikant, your screen is visible. Shrikant. Shrikant, your screen is visible. You can go to the router 0 and you can show IP route.
Yeah, I have done. Is my configuration visible?
No, not yet.
Hello?
Only the architecture is visible. I can't see the configurations here.
But I have.
Guys, am I the one who is facing this problem, or if anybody is seeing his router configuration, can inform me?
Same problem.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Srikant, now it's visible.
As per it is visible.
It's visible. Yeah. Okay. 3. Okay, done. You can go to your PC and you can ping the IP address. Okay. Okay, Shrikant, please look into once. There might be some problem regarding the connections you have made. Like I think you have changed the architecture according to the last time's project, that is 30 users must be there like that. So according to that, you may have changed the architecture. So please look into that. So meanwhile, who is this? Hariprasad.
Thank you.
Hariprasad, you can share your screen now. Hariprasad, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, Hariprasad. You can share your screen now. Okay, I can see your screen. The architecture is visible. You can go to the router 0. Okay. Yeah, I can see 3 routers. Okay, done. You can go to the PC and you can ping it. Better to ping with the other PCs, other subnet PCs. We can easily identify whether it is pinging or not. Okay, Hariprasad, it's enough. So if one PC it's pinging, it will be pinging to other PCs. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Hariprasad, for sharing your screen. So you can stop sharing and who is this? Pawan Kalyan. Pawan Kalyan, you can start sharing your screen. Pawan Kalyan, if you're there. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can see the architecture. Can you go to the router 0? Go to router 0 configurations. Okay. Can you go to the PC 0? Yeah, yeah, I have seen router configuration. That's good. You can go to the PC 0 and you can ping the IP address. Okay. Can you ping to the PC in another subnet? That will be easy to identify if there are any wrong. Ping it to the PC in another router, another subnet. No, no, I have asked you to like in PC 0 only, you can ping it like ping 192.168.1.34. If PC 0 is doing that, your architecture is good. So I asked for that, not to go to another PC. So otherwise you can go to in the PC2, you can ping for like 192.168.1.2 so that we can identify if there are any errors in your architecture. If it is pinging, there will be no problem. If not, in PC0, you can ping like 192.168.1.34. In the meanwhile, if anybody is ready to share the screen, can raise their hand. Accordingly, I will call.
Okay, it's okay. Hello.
Okay. Now once again you type that ping 192.168.1.3 This time without any losing of packets, all the packets will be pinged. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Pawan Kalyan. It's working.
Okay, okay.
So
Okay, thank
you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
If there are anybody who would like to share their screen, can do it now. Anyone? Till now, I got 8 people who have done their work, and still, if anybody,
Okay, okay. So please tell me the name.
after Navya, it's Srikanth, ma'am. Srikanth has shown his work, and after that,
Okay.
Hari
Form is
Prasad,
done.
Hari
Fine.
Prasad,
Hari Prasad.
and
Okay.
Pawan Kalyan, ma'am. Pawan Kalyan.
And
Pawan Kalyan.
Pavan Kalyan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what is like Pavan Kalyan?
His name, ma'am.
But there is one more Kalyan here, right? So is it
He is
different?
A Pawan Kalyan, ma'am. Andavarapu, yes, ma'am. A.
A Pavan Kalyan. So these are different persons, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, fine. And what about the rest of the people? So I can see only 8 people done. Okay. So have you configured the default routing? So no problem. I think this is an assignment. Like you will configure with the default routing. Now we are good to close with the session, and it's very good. And the people who are left, please do it, and they can submit it at like on the page, like whatever has been assigned on the classrooms, right? So okay, fine. So let me give you an assignment to do now, right? So this is what you have to implement with the default routing. So what you have to do, you have to configure the default route in R1 and R3 and configure the static route in R2. You have the IP schema I have already given. Take out the valid IP pool from it. Connect the switch, connect the PCs like we have done in my earlier labs, right? And that's how you have to do. Fine, everyone. Any doubts? Rajkumar, Kalyan, Tagore, Mohan, Shrikant, Hari, Navya, any doubts? I can see only one girl has been
No.
done. Any doubts here? So I'm going to post it. Right?